The rain began long before night fully arrived. At first it was distant, barely noticeable. Soft taps against the windows. A quiet reminder that the world outside was slowly disappearing. By the time darkness settled in, the rain had grown heavier. I stood alone in the living room, listening. This house wasn't meant to feel alive, but it did. The walls were old. The air smelled damp, like wet wood and forgotten memories. Every sound echoed just a little longer than it should have. I told myself it was nothing. Old houses make noise. Rain makes everything sound worse. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was paying attention. I walked slowly through the hallway. Each step I took was answered by a soft creak, as if the floor was warning me not to move too fast. The rain outside intensified, pounding harder on the roof. That's when I heard it. A sound that didn't belong. Not thunder, not rain. Breathing. Very slow, very close. I stopped moving. The breathing stopped too. We stayed like that, listening to each other, while the rain swallowed the silence. I didn't move for a long time. The rain continued, steady and heavy, as if it was trying to keep me company. I convinced myself the breathing was my imagination. Fear does that. Silence does that. I took one careful step forward. The floor creaked, not loudly, but clearly enough to feel intentional. Then another step. From somewhere deep inside the house, a door closed. Not slammed, closed, slowly. I felt a cold pressure in my chest. This house had too many rooms, too many places for sound to hide. I reached the kitchen. The clock on the wall had stopped, its hands frozen at 2:17. I stared at it longer than I should have. The rain outside suddenly changed rhythm. Not random anymore, almost timed. Tap, 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 in sync with my heartbeat. I backed away from the counter. That's when I noticed the footprints. Wet, bare, leading away from the back door, and stopping right behind me. I didn't turn around. The rain outside grew louder, like laughter. I stood there, refusing to turn around. The air behind me felt heavier, colder, like something was leaning closer, waiting. The rain outside softened for a moment, almost respectful. Then a voice spoke. Not loud, not threatening, gentle. "You hear us too," it said. My hands shook. "Who's there?" I whispered, even though I knew better. The lights flickered once. In that brief flash, I saw the walls changing. The paint looked wet, breathing. The house wasn't just listening, it was remembering. The voice returned, closer now. "We don't like being forgotten." The rain returned, harder than before. Images filled my mind. People standing where I stood now, all frozen in fear, all listening. They never screamed. They never ran. They stayed. I felt the floor beneath me sink slightly, as if the house was adjusting to my weight, making room. I realized something then. The house didn't trap people. People chose to stay. Because once you heard it, leaving felt wrong. The house shifted around me. Not violently, not suddenly, slowly, like something stretching after a long sleep. The rain outside became relentless, pounding the roof like thousands of fingers begging to be let in. The walls leaned closer. I could feel them breathing, warm and damp. The voice returned, no longer gentle. "You stayed," it said. I tried to move. My feet wouldn't lift. The floor had softened, pulling me down just enough to make escape difficult. Every room around me whispered at once. Not words, names. Names of people who had listened before me. The lights went out completely. Darkness filled the house, thick and heavy. In the dark, I felt hands, not grabbing, guiding, leading me deeper into the house, down a hallway I hadn't seen before. The rain suddenly stopped. The silence screamed. Then the house spoke, not in a voice, but in feeling. You belong here. I understood then. The house didn't need locks. Fear was enough. I don't know how long I stood there. Time had no meaning inside the house. The rain returned, softer now, gentler, like a lullaby. The darkness didn't feel hostile anymore. It felt familiar. The hands I felt before were gone, but I was no longer alone. The walls no longer leaned. They watched. The house had learned my breathing, matched it. Slow, deep, calm. I thought about leaving. The door was there. I could see it. But the idea felt distant, unnecessary. Outside, the rain hid everything. Inside, the house remembered me. The voice didn't speak again. It didn't need to. I sat down on the floor. The cold didn't bother me. The fear faded. Something else replaced it. Acceptance. The rain continued. The house listened. And I stayed.